Okay, we're going to get started with our break homework, our Martin Luther King 3-day weekend break packet homework. So I will start with our first video review problem, and this is a review of circles, which we did on the first day back from break. So a practice field at Ralph's College has a circular running track that he uses for jogging. A sign posted at the field says that the track's length is 400 meters. And when I'm dealing with a circle, when it's the track's length, it's going to be the same as the circumference. What is the radius of the track? So I need to find the radius of the track. Express your answer to the nearest tenth of a meter, and that's important that I actually do express it in the nearest tenth of a meter. So over here, I'm going to write my key information box. Okay, a couple things that I know. I know that I have a circumference of 400 meters. I know that circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Okay. I know that I need to find the radius, and I know that the radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. Okay, so I'm already seeing that this is going to be kind of a two-step problem. First, I need to go from circumference to diameter, and then I need to go from diameter to radius. It is absolutely okay, and I recommend using your calculator on this homework. So first I'm going to find my diameter, and I can do that by plugging it into, into the circumference formula. So I'm going to go 400 is equal to pi times the diameter, because I was given my circumference. I divide both sides here by pi. I'm going to use my calculator. And remember, you can't just put in 3.14 when you have access to a calculator. You have to actually use the pi button on your calculator. Okay, so I'm going to do 400 divided by pi, and that gives me 127 and like a ton of decimals, but I'm going to just put down up to the 10th. So my diameter here is equal to 127.3233, so I'm just going to round it to 3 meters. Great, so I have my diameter. I'm being asked for my radius. Over here, I know that radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. So I'll plug that in. Radius is equal to, oh, you know what? My 3 disappeared here. Radius is equal to 127. Oh, let me fix that so it's not so yucky looking. Radius is equal to 127.3 divided by 2. Okay, and I'm going to do that also in my calculator. 127.3 divided by 2. When I do that, I get 63 and 65 hundredths, rounding to the nearest tenth of a meter. I'm going to put equals 63.7 meters. Now, when I was practicing this earlier, I made a typo in the calculator and I came up with the wrong answer. So I can't indicate to you enough how important it is for you to double check everything you do in the calculator. Do it twice. Think about it. You might dial a wrong number sometimes. You might also dial a wrong number in your calculator, and we wouldn't want to get a problem incorrect because of that. So pause right here and do the next 2 circle problems, making sure that what do we know? What do we need to know? Remembering that your formulas are area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Diameter is equal to 2 times the radius, and radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. All right, good luck. I'll see you at the next part. All right, we are back, and we're going to take a look at the review from the second day that we were back from break. Dennis is arranging furniture in his bedroom along a wall that is 6.5 meters wide. He places a dresser that is 1.2 meters wide at the left of the wall. He also places a bookshelf that is 0.75 meters wide against the wall 3.9 meters away from the dresser. How far is the bookshelf from the right of the wall? How far is the bookshelf from the right of the wall? Right end. Okay. So this is definitely one where we're going to have to draw a model. First, I'm going to do my little key information box here. Okay. So I have my room is equal to 6.5 meters. I have my dresser, 1.2 meters. I have my space in between, which is 3.9 meters. And then I'm given a bookshelf here, which is 0.75 meters. Okay, and then I need the space from the bookshelf to the wall. That's what I need to know. That's kind of my question mark here. Okay, so what it's looking like I'm going to have to do is add all these things up and subtract them from 6.5. But in order to visualize that, I'm definitely going to create a diagram here. And the expectation on this homework for the next 3 problems is that you do the same. Okay, I'm going to go over here. So this is my 6.5 meter room. All right, and I'm going to go over here. This is my dresser, and it is 1.2 meters wide. And then I have this space right here, which is 3.9 meters. Then I have my bookshelf, okay, which is 0.75 meters. And then this space right here is sort of my unknown. This is my question mark, okay? Obviously, this drawing is not to scale. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go 6.5 minus 1.2 minus 3.9 minus 0.75. And I think that's going to give me my answer. Again, I do recommend using a calculator. You should get, let's see, I think it's 0.65. So let me double check myself. 0.65 minus 1.2 minus 3.9 minus 0.75 is equal to 0.65. All right. But again, we all know how easy it is for Miss Syed to make a silly mistake. And I'm going to double check my work by adding all of these numbers, 0.65, together. So I'm going to go 0.65 plus 0.75 plus 3.9 plus 1.2. And I'm really hoping that my answer here is 6.5 so that I know I have my correct answer in my double check. So I'm going to go 0.65 plus 0.75 plus 3.9 plus 1.2. Oh, and that does give me 6.5. I do have this weird glitch here. Okay, 6.5. Great. So the space between the bookshelf and the right end of the wall is 0.65 meters. I'll do that here. Space between bookshelf and wall equals 0.65 meters. There is my answer. And so that the person grading this, if this was a test, knows exactly where my answer is. I'm going to put a little rectangle around it. Let's take a quick peek at what your two practice problems are. So you have your mirror put onto a bathroom wall. Okay, so again, this is one of those things that's going to seem more complicated than it is. For both of these problems, please make sure that you do draw a model. And I'm going to pause here so that you can get these two done. Well, you're going to have to pause the video. Good luck. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, we are back. We're going to take a look at these sort of tricky and yucky problems where we're being tricked with our decimals and our fractions together and we have negatives all over the place. So we can break these down and we can get them right. Let's take a look at this one right now. First thing I'm going to do, because I do not like working with fractions and decimals together, is I'm going to convert the 1.5 to a fraction, 1 1/2, because in this case it is easier to convert from decimals to fractions. Sometimes you're going to see a problem where you're going to want to convert from fractions to decimals, and that's going to be your decision. So -2 2/5 minus, minus, let me fix that. Minus 1 1/2 plus 1/6. Using my order of operations, I am going to do my parentheses first. So I have, I'm going to do it over here, 1 1/2 plus 1/6. I'm going to change this to 1 3/6 plus 1/6, and so that gives me 1 4/6, or 1 2/3. So I'm going to put it back over here, and I have -2 2/5 minus 1 2/3. Now, because I have -2 2/5 minus 1 2/3, my answer is definitely going to be negative. And the question now is, am I combining these two numbers or am I canceling them out, right? So am I going to find the difference between these two, or do I add them together? The answer is that I add them together, and I'll show you here. If this is my number line and this is my 0, if I'm saying -2 2/5 minus 1 2/3, that means I'm going this way on the number line. 1 2, oh, sorry. I'm going this way on the number line. By a space of 1 2/3. And then I'm going to land here on X. I don't know what that is. Okay. But in order to do that, I'm going to add these two numbers together. Erase my number line. So I have some work to do, some work, space to work. Okay. So here I go. I have 2 2/5 minus 1 2/3. I'm going to change this to 15, negative 2. So let's see, I did 5 times 3, so 6 over 15 minus 1 and 10 over 15. So I'm going to get negative 3 and 16 over 15, which simplifies to negative 4 and 16 over 15. Sorry, and 1 over 15, forgive me. Negative 4 and 1 over 15. Great. I'm going to head here. Negative 4 and 1 over 15. And that is my answer. Okay. Gentlemen, as we do these next couple of problems, please do not forget, please, pretty please, do not forget to distribute the negative. So here for negative 3, make sure you're distributing negative 3 times x and negative 3 times 5. And that's the only hint I'm going to give you on those two. Pause the video here, and I will see you back for the next section. All right, gentlemen, we are back. And we are going to start diving into our percent changes. And so for this model, I am going to do it both using the percent bar and the equation that we learned because I want to show you both ways. Your uncle, he sells a car for $30,000. He makes a $5,400 commission. What percent commission did he make? What percent commission did he make? That's what I need to find. Now, if you're saying to yourself, Messiah, didn't we do this before? Yeah, I recycled some old problems and I changed some numbers here and there, but it's okay to practice because this is the kind of thing you're going to see both on your state exam and on your IA. So let me over here make my key information box. All right. And we always do for the key information box when we're dealing with percent change. We have our original, our percent change, and then we're looking for a new something, right? So my original here is $30,000. He sold that car for $30,000. We want to find out his percent commission. That's what I don't know. I don't know his percent commission. But I do know that he got $5,400 in commission. Okay. Well, the first way I'm going to do this is my good old fashioned favorite thing ever, the percent bar. Okay. And I want to figure out what percent of $30,000 is $5,400. So I always do my percent on the bottom, 100%. And then up here is my 30,000. And up here is my 54. Oops. Sorry. Get this back up here. My 5,400 over X percent. I don't know what that percent is. And remember, this allows me to make this really beautiful 5,400 over X is equal to 30,000 over 100. Okay. And I can cross multiply. Okay. So 5,400 times 100, I can go ahead and just, add those 2 zeros from that 100 onto there. So I have 5,400 times 100 is 540,000. Let me put that down here. I have 540,000 is equal to 30,000 X. I'm going to divide both sides by 30,000 divided by 30,000 and I'm going to get 18. My X is equal to 18, okay? So my commission, that means, was 18%. Let me show you how to do this the other way. So I'm going to go here and say, let me do it in a different color. Let's see, colors are fun. Let's do a little orange. Okay. So I could say my percent times my original is equal to the commission. In this case, I don't know the percent. That's that's my question mark, right? So I'm going to say X times 30,000 is equal to 5,400. Now, and I divide both sides by 30,000, divided by 30, I'm getting X is equal to 0.18. And then when I do the problem this way, I have to change my percentage. I have to change my decimal to a percentage. So I move the decimal point over 2 places and I'm left with 18%. Okay, so these are the 2 ways that you can go about doing these problems. I know that some of you guys had some other ways. If you mastered the exit tickets already, I'm cool with you using some of the other ways that you want about setting up your ratios or setting up your percent formulas. If you did not master the exit tickets, please choose one of these and make sure to be as consistent as possible. All right, gentlemen, pause here, and I will see you at the next section. We are back, and we're still working with percents. This time we're going to be looking at some discounts. So let's go ahead and read here. Ms. Smith purchases a pair of boots that normally cost, I have a pen here, great, that normally cost $55. So that's my original. She uses a 20% off coupon and pays the remaining amount. Part A, what percent of the original price does Ms. Smith pay? Now, Ms. Smith pay. This is actually something we've been typically kind of doing it in our head. This is just a really way to very clearly spell out what happens when we get to part B. So my original here, my percent and my new. So my original here was $55 and she has a 20% discount. Okay, so she's left paying what percentage? I'm going to go over here and go, okay, 100% minus 80%, or sorry, minus 20%, I gave away the answer, is equal to 80%. All right, so she pays, gentlemen, I cannot emphasize this enough. You may see a problem like this on some sort of test or exam, and you can say, wait a minute, the percent of the original, I'm just going to do that in my head, 100 minus 20 is 80, and you'll just write 80%. I do need you to show the work. I do need you to show the work. We need to see how you got to the answer in your head. Okay. Oh, let's keep moving. What is the price that she pays? What is the price that Miss Smith pays for the boots? So this is going to ask me, this asks me for a dollar amount. So again, I know that she paid, I have an original here, sorry, 55%, no, $55. The percent that she paid was 80%. Okay, and so I'm looking for what was her new price. What was that discounted amount? So I'm going to start now with this way. So I'm going to go percent times original equals new. In this case, my percent is 80, and I do have to change that. So when I change 80% to a decimal, I move the decimal over twice, and it's 0.8. 0.8 times 55. Yes, you may use your calculator. When you do 0.8 times 55, you should get 44. Let me make sure that I did that right. 0.8 times 55 is equal to 44. Okay. So Miss Smith paid $44. If this is how you're going to do your next two problems, you can go ahead and pause right here. If you want to see another percent bar, I will show you how to do this problem with a percent bar. So here's my percent bar. Let's do this in red. Okay, always 0%, 100%. It was, how many dollars was my original price? 55. Okay. My original price was $55, and I know she paid 80%. That's my X. I don't know what that is. So my ratio is going to go X over 80 is equal to 55 over 100. I can cross multiply. I'm left with 100x equals 80 times 55. And 80 times 55 gives me 4,400. Divide both sides by 100. X equals $44. Okay? So that's the other way you can get this answer. Next two problems on your own. Pause your video here, and I will meet you. We are almost done. Okay, gentlemen, welcome back. We are nearing the end of our homework packet journey together. We're going to talk now about percent increase. And so let's dive in. Some fashion companies in New York City use 24% markups on their clothing. What would the markup be on a new $440 jacket? Okay, so markup is an increase. What does it mean when I say markup? Okay, so typically when you have a store, the store doesn't necessarily make the good, right? So when you go to Target and you buy a box of Oreos, Target didn't make the Oreos. Target bought the Oreos from, I think, Nabisco, who makes the Oreos, and they probably bought them for a really low price, like maybe, for example, $1 for a package of Oreos. But when you go to Target, you pay $3 for a package of Oreos. So that $2 was the markup. It's when I take a good from a distributor and I add a markup so that when I sell it, I'm actually also making money off of that good. Okay, so with this problem, what I know with this problem, what I know is that the original was $440, very fancy jacket. Okay, that the markup was 124. No, whoops, sorry, not 124. That the markup was plus 24%. Okay, and so I'm looking for that new price, and that's the price that you pay when you go buy it at the store. I hope that none of you guys are buying a jacket that expensive. Not needed. Okay, cool. So for this, I do love my percent bar, guys. You know I love a percent bar. So let's take a look here. And I'm being asked for the markup. So what I don't want to do is find the total price and then choose the total price, okay? So my markup, I'm going to do my percent bar. 0%, 100%, 440, okay? And there's a 24% markup. I'm being asked to find 24% of this product. So when I'm increasing, when I'm doing an increase, if I was being asked for the total price, I would go over here, do my little dotted line, put my X over 124%. But since I'm being asked for the percent, what I'm going to do is actually find 24%. So I'm going to put 440, oh, whoops, sorry. Eraser. I'm going to put X over 24 is equal to 440 over 100. Okay, 24 cross multiply, I get 100X is equal to 24 times 440, which should give me 10,560. Yep, 10,560. And if I divide that by 100, I would move my decimal point in here 2 places, and my X would be 105.60. That's my markup. Is that an option here? Yes, it is 105 and 60. So it was marked up 60. Now, I bet you can see here, D, this would be the one that you would choose if you read the question wrong. So you would have said, oh, okay, 440 plus 105.60, and you would have gone ahead and picked this one, which stinks because that means you did all the math correct, but then you didn't answer the right question. So please don't do that, guys. Make sure we're reading our questions. Make sure we're using mole. And when we say bracket the question, don't just bracket it so that I'm happy. Bracket it so that you're reading the question and you know exactly what you're being asked. Quickly on this one, I will show you another way that you can go ahead and do this. I could put my percent, okay, times my original to get the markup. All right, so my percent here would be 0.24 times 440. Okay, and I would get 105.6. All right, or 105.60. All right, gentlemen, you have a couple more problems to do. 2 more. Yep, that's it. So this is the end of our video. Please feel free to reach out to me. I gave you my phone number and my email address on the packet, and I'm happy to help out. And again, I always recommend Khan Academy. I'll put some links that might be helpful for this work in the description box. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you have a restful weekend, and I hope you do a lot of really great math. And I'll see you on